and this is Library Lovers Month. And what more pleasant place to be than in our library here in Marion County. I'm here today with a slew of ladies here who've been in the library system for a while, and we'll get to know them a little bit better today. Some faces you'll recognize because you've talked with them or worked with them before, or your children have been involved in programs here at the library where they were working. We have Kay Peterson there on the end, and Kay has been with the library for a while. We have Sandy Nunley here with us today, and she's the assistant director here at the library. And then we have Patty Mae Brown, whom you all know, been around town for a while. And so they're all involved with the library system here, and we're going to talk with them today about how libraries have changed and some of the things that are going on in the library. And they are all library lovers because they are librarians, so how about that? We're going to start down on the end with Kay. How are you doing today, Kay?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Now, Kay, tell us when you started with the library here.
I started with the library in 2000.
Okay.
I was hired as the bookmobile librarian, bookmobile and outreach. It consisted of just going to about 3 or 4 places, Loretto, Gravel Switch, Bradfordsville, and Jessietown.
Oh.
But then we implemented a program where I went to the nursing homes and read to the residents of the nursing homes one day a week, and we also then went to daycares, basically accentuated that cradle to grave.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, for reading.
For reading.
Fantastic. And you, Patty, I know you've been here not quite as long as some of the others. Tell us about that.
I started in 2010 as a part-time librarian, and then went full-time a couple of years later than that, after that.
Okay. And then we have our assistant director here. Yeah, and you've been here, I know, quite a few years.
I have been here for 20 years.
Okay, 20 years.
20 years.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a long time. So you are definitely a library lover.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit about some of your background and why you got involved with the library. We'll start with Kay.
Well, I needed a job.
Okay.
And I applied. Someone said, well, they need a bookmobile driver. I said, well, I can't drive a stick shift. And back when I patronized the bookmobile, it was a stick shift.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, times have changed. It's automatic transmission now, so you're in good shape. So I applied and got the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then spent 4 years here, and then spent 2 years in the public school system, and then 6 years as assistant director at St. Catherine College at the Hundley Library there.
Okay. So you've got lots of library experience.
Yes, basically cradle to grave experience.
And you, Patty?
Well, when I was in middle school, my middle school librarian actually had me come in and help in the summer to prep the library for the next school year. And then when I was in high school, my high school librarian did the same, and I helped during the school year. But then we flipped circumstances. I actually went to college to be a high school English teacher. Okay. And so I went to the high school level and taught, always thinking that I would get my master's, because as a teacher you have to get your master's, get my master's in library science. And then I had my son, and life changes. Yeah. And so I was lucky to come in one day and find out that there was a position here, and I thought, hey, I could do that without getting my master's right off. So I was able to fall into the children's librarian job.
Sandy?
Me, I did, like Patty, I volunteered in our high school library for a brief little while, but I honestly did not get back into libraries until later. I wanted to do something more with my life. I was working as a waitress, and I had 4 children, and I wanted to learn new skills. So I came to the library. I was sent over by Human Resources, and I came over here to learn everything about computers and excuse me, filing and that kind of thing as a volunteer. And I worked here for about, I think it was from April until August, and I was offered a job in August, and I have been here since. And I would not, I can't imagine working anywhere else. I really can't.
The library seems like a magical place. What type of magic did it hold out for you, Kay?
The magic of books. I started out, patronizing the bookmobile as a young child, and that was one thing our parents encouraged us to do, was read. We could check out as many books as we wanted to, as long as we were held accountable for them. And then when I started working at the library, Arlene Himes, who was the director then, encouraged me to get my master's online. So instead of having to travel, I went to Florida State and received my master's degree in library science online. And books have just been magic, whether it's a printed word or anything on our iPhones. It just holds such power.
Yes, it does. Wow. Okay. And what about you guys? Any magic to the library for you? Or was it something different? Or
You know that smell when you walk into a library? Anybody who's a book lover, or that you walk into a library or a bookstore and there's just something that you associate, that smell. And I think that I loved walking in. It was a sanctuary. Anything could happen in a library. You could pull up a book and you'd be like, oh, I can go places that I can't go sitting here in Lebanon. And so you remember that. And so then when you walk in years later as a grown-up, you're like, I'm home.
yeah.
Right. And an escape.
Yep.
You could go anywhere, anytime, and just go and get away. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, library's full of books. Okay, here's a tough question for you. Favorite book or books?
Mine would be A Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It opened up so many new worlds to me, like Brooklyn. There was New York, and the streets of New York, and the young girl's reaction to life, and sometimes circumstances weren't all that great, and how she dealt with it. It was just a magic book, and the encyclopedia was a magic book. It went from A to Z. Read that.
Now, I might get some flack for this because it's not they're not classic authors, but I'll go way back with Stephen King and now with Jim Butcher, who are some what I consider modern classics, and they are more of the horror or fantasy authors. So it's not a classic, but it's one of those things that I love, and when I start reading, it's just can't wait for the next one.
Yes, I can understand that.
I think the one book that kicked me, because I always like reading, but the one that really kicked me into reading, where I wanted to read everything I could get my hands on, was probably The Outsiders. Yeah.
Okay, that's a very popular book.
Right.
Very, very popular. And I know that you have books in the library for everyone's taste, starting from your younger children on up to adults.
Yes.
So what are some of the programs you're offering here?
Programs. We just started a new one called Make It Mondays, where the kids can actually get their hands on and just do stuff, make stuff. What they just made Goop. Yeah, Goop, and made some Lego cars.
Now, who would have thought this would go on in a library? I mean, library is a place where you go and read. You get a book off the shelf and you read. Not anymore.
No.
It's a community hub.
The community hub.
Right. Things are changing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And I know you have programs with movies as well for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And all kinds of different things. What's your favorite? What are some of your favorite programs?
Wow. Yeah.
I have
It's
Toddler
like-
Tales on Wednesdays,
Uh-huh.
and there's nothing better than having a 2-year-old come up and give you a hug, and I get that every Wednesday. So
I like the fact that we offer the adult crafts.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's becoming very popular right now, and I know that the adults love that they have something that they can come in and do. Yeah.
Listen, before we close up today, I want you to give us the hours of the library so that everybody out there who's watching this, they can feel free to come into the library and take part and get some of that good feeling that you get when you come to the library.
We do have new hours right now. We just started these. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're open from 9 to 6. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're open from 9 to 7. And on Fridays, we're open from 9 to 5. Saturdays, we're open from 9 to 3. And we are closed on Sundays. Okay.
That's great. Well, listen, I invite our viewers, when you see these ladies out in the streets, you know that they are librarians. Throw them a kiss.
Yay!
Because it's Library Lovers Month. Thank you for joining us. This is Yvonne McNary for Central Kentucky Television.